Welcome to Chemi Naturally, a channel to hashtag motivate and inspire and hashtag level up. In today's video, I'll be discussing my entire coding bootcamp's curriculum in full detail, while I show you how I take out my hair and maintain it afterwards. When taking out your hair, make sure that you are very delicate. Use an oil. I like to use my fingers. Sometimes I will use a comb, and I try to start at the ends and be very slow and deliberate. After the extension has been removed, you further detangle with your fingers because your hair is quite susceptible to damage at this point and is going to be shedding a lot. So use an oil and break apart any residue or matting you have with your fingers. Before the program, we had to set up the computer and recognize shell commands and pass foundations in order to get to the program. Now I'm going to wet and wash my scalp with Head and Shoulders shampoo. I divide my hair into 4 sections for ease and access to my hair. Now back to the curriculum. Foundations were divided into 4 parts. First part was mastering command line and setting up the machine. We learned a bit about test-driven development so that we can test the assignments. That consisted of data types, prototype chains, loops, and constructors related to JavaScript. The second part of foundations, we learned scopes and closure, functional programming, and classes. The third part, we learned about this keyword and all that is entailed with that. And then the fourth part of foundations was about HTML, CSS, the DOM, and recursion. And at this point, we're now in junior phase. Then we pair exercise a lot with some practical debugging on JavaScript errors, and again with DOM manipulation, Flexbox, and CSS systems. Then we do this pair exercise with the Game of Life, which is a famous cellular automation game that we get to build. Very hard. Now we get into the back-end stack and we're learning PostgreSQL to set up our database and tables. Then we learn the basics of Node.js, set up our package JSON file to run our server environment on. Then we set up Express.js, another library that helps with building APIs in JavaScript. We then build a Hacker News clone with Express, and we learn SQL queries, which can be very one of the most boring ones because it's just learning SQL queries by yourself. And then we continue practicing and pair exercising with Node, Express, and SQLS ORMs, along with asynchronous programming. Eventually, we will build our own APIs with Express and connect it to database with SQLize. After all of that backend information, we will learn React, which is what we use in the front end to construct components that will be displayed on the browser. And we try to build like a stack chat with that in class, doing pair exercising. If all works out, then we will be in our senior phase. And we spend the mornings doing algo problems, which were, in my opinion, poorly taught. And if you really wanted to learn algos, I would suggest to just learn them on your own time with other resources so that you can understand what's going on. Because if they had maybe taught algos during the entire program, maybe it would have been better instead of just springing it on during this time where we were not focused on that before. And then we learned about pretty much Big O, creating data structures, learning about sessions, OAuth, Boilermakers, and career success. Yeah, so that is everything that we've learned. That is the entire curriculum of Full Stack Academy's bootcamp. After washing and conditioning all 4 sections of my hair, I air dry it until it's damp and then blow dry my hair to lengthen it and style. If you like this video, subscribe and give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye!